Welcome back to the daily crypto market update. Yes, another long liquidation flush, unfortunately, on a red Monday, but nothing has really changed, my opinion. I'm still buying the dip. I'm still waiting patiently. There's a couple of other things I want to share with you before we look at the charts. For one, that's a lot of longs liquidated. And note, where are the majority of liquidations right now? They're for Ethereum. That's because Ethereum is leading the interest in the market right now. Just because Ethereum's having a huge liquidation on longs does not discount its bullishness. $220 million is no drop in a bucket. It is an incredible amount of liquidations. That shows demand. There are still like the CME shorts. I think it's at like a record high right now. This is insane. I still believe that Ethereum is strong bullish. We're going to look at the chart in a second, but there's something else over here on Discord. In the Better Traders Club Discord server, our stop loss setting alert has been firing nonstop. You can see yesterday, the 18th, it fired 3 times, which is crazy. Before that, on the 17th, we also saw 2 alerts as well. This is letting us know that we should be expecting some unexpected volatility, and that's exactly what we've seen over the last 24 hours. Now, the main thing to look at right now, I've literally just drawn this short-term support level. So this is not something that I had previously seen before. So this is a little bit weak in that it's new, but I want to have it here just to show you something important. Now that Bitcoin has fallen below this, it gives us another level to watch. Now, we do have a much longer term support fan. This support fan has been in place for a long time. From our lows back over here in September 2023, we can see it respecting, piercing and closing above. Closing back above and dropping back down to here. The main thing I'm concerned about is it dropped below this level, which if we saw Bitcoin fall today to test this, it would be down here at $108,000. Now, personally, that's where I believe support will be if we see a deeper pullback, mainly because we have the TBO support line right here, which it's red because it's resistance, but this is historical resistance. So that means it's now going to be support, which right now is at 109,000. So if Bitcoin were to dump yet again, that's where I'm looking for the price to fall. But I don't expect it to fall down that low. Why? Well, for starters, I continue to look at the slow line, which is moving up aggressively. This slow line is the slowest moving average that comprises of the trending breakout indicator, or TBO for short. As long as I see this moving up, I'm going to stay macro bullish. I'm going to keep buying the dip. And you guys buy it with what? I understand. But this is, again, I've shared this before, I believe on the Coin Bureau trading channel, like how I buy the dip. Literally, that's how I do it. I shared my DCA strategy over there, which is why you guys got to subscribe. They're so close to reaching 100,000 subs. And my goal on this channel is to reach 100,000 subs this year. I am not as close as they are, but that means that you need to help me grow this channel by sharing, liking, subscribing, leave a comment. And speaking of, today I have a special surprise for you in regards to my content for today's picks, but more on that in a second. Now, one thing, if you've been paying attention to my videos, and especially if you're in the Better Traders Club and looking at reading my market analysis videos or watch my weekly videos, one interesting area of interest is this line right here. Now, let me go ahead and just turn on the labels here for the indicator. So we have 4 lines, the TBO fast line, medium fast, medium slow, and slow line. What's really interesting is that we will see the price often respect this mid-slow level, which going back in time over here was on the 1st and 2nd of August. The price of Bitcoin actually tagged this level at 112 before bouncing. Now, we obviously had a much deeper pierce of that level. Let me go ahead and turn off these tabs. There we go. But I do believe that that was the flush, and now we're going to see Bitcoin push back up to the fast line and probably close above it today. Again, literally just a couple of days ago, we saw a new all-time high. And looking at the timeline on X and on YouTube, everyone's in shambles, as in the whole phrase. I hate that phrase. The timeline's in shambles. Looking at TBT Divergence, there's nothing really to point out here on the daily. On the 4-hour time frame, nothing really to point out either. But again, on the hourly, we can see all of these stop loss setting alerts going crazy, really ever since the 14th of August, unfortunately, after the top, the peak. But look, we're still seeing more of these TBT bullish divergence signals. the more we get these, the more I'm looking at this going, okay, well, it's a matter of time. Like we're going to see a bounce back and no one's going to be expecting it. And we're going to get lots of people shorting the market after Bitcoin has already fallen, thinking, aha, now I have the confidence to short the market. And it goes against them and they literally get guillotined on the upside. That's just how I've seen things work. Moving on to Ethereum. Now, something really unfortunate happened. Yesterday, we saw a TBT Bearish Divergence signal printed. That's this red triangle right here. Same thing as this one back over here. All this thing lets us know is that there is a bearish divergence between price, volume, RSI, and lots of other factors using trigonometry. I'm not kidding. So this is not just as simple as price go down and all this other stuff. Okay, good. Like it's a crazy indicator. It did accurately let us know that there was a pullback last time. But what we have to keep in mind whenever we see these is what is the direction of the slow line, because the macro trend either validates or invalidates these. Now, I will say that the more of these symbols that are printed, the more I pay attention, especially if there is a cluster. A lot of these printed in a really short amount of time. Right now, the slow line for Ethereum is massively strong bullish, not to mention that the price of Ethereum has not gone inside of the daily TBO Cloud yet, which tells me that it's still strong bullish. Despite pulling back from almost $4,800 down here 11%, it's actually strong bullish in my book. On the 4-hour time frame, you might remember this, but we saw a TBT Bearish Divergence right over here on Thursday at 9 p.m. I did not catch this until Friday. Then we saw 2 closed longs. These red triangles always precede the blue closed longs, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But these let us know that if you're in a long position, which back over here, the long position is denoted by this green triangle, which is a TBO open long. When we get this, and if we decide to open a long from that position, and we haven't taken profit on this run, this lets us know, you might want to consider taking out some profits once the price returns back up to the fast line, which would be 20% profit. Not bad for trend trading. Now, after these happen, well, now we just need to wait and see what's going to be happening next. And again, the other thing to keep in mind is, yes, we have TBT Bearish Divergence. Yes, the 4-hour looks like it's going to be bouncing, and I expect Bitcoin to bounce, which means Ethereum should bounce harder today. But here's the thing. This line of support right here is pretty critical. We can see, even without the trending breakout indicator, that when we had a pullback over here in the beginning of this month in August, we saw a really nice spring from here, which is a great sign. If we see Ethereum fall any lower, today it has immediate support at $4,050. If we lose that, that's going to be really bad. Absolutely really bad. Just so you know, if you didn't already know. Something else to consider is that we still have our Fibonacci levels from 2022 intact. This level, 4868, is the 2021 all-time high in November for Ethereum. We still haven't pushed above it yet. And there are still many charts that haven't made new all-time highs. That's normal. And we do have a CME gap still at $4,098.50, which isn't that far away. I kind of just want to see a quick flush down for the CME, another 5%, and just close it. But at the same time, I know that would cause a lot of pain. One thing I also want to remind you of is that I made a comment last week saying that Ethereum is driving the bull market. So that means if Ethereum is going to have a pullback, alts are going to be following Ethereum much more right now. And that's been the case when I watch Bitcoin Dominance and see this falling more and more and seeing Ethereum Dominance shooting up higher and higher. Now, I've also said that Ethereum Dominance is way more closely correlated to Ethereum's price action. So we have to take that into account. But which chart is more bullish? This one with the price, quote unquote, it's actually a percentage, but above the cloud, or this one with it below the cloud, looking strong bearish, seeing the slow line curl down? Ethereum definitely still has mind share. It will move more than Bitcoin does, whether Bitcoin closes up or down. So that means when BTC closes down on the day 1%, we're going to see a close of greater than 1%. Yesterday was 3.5%. And that's essentially the multiple factor effect that I talk about a lot. Now, because Ethereum has had a bigger pullback compared to BTC, the ETH-BTC ratio had a bigger pullback. But again, it is still massively strong bullish. I'm still holding my ETH-BTC position open because I expect ETH-BTC to push above the 0.5 and to actually go all the way up here to the 618, another 20% increase. So I'm right now in a massive profit. I'm comfortable and comfy even to let ETH fall all the way down here. It could actually lose 36% and I would still be in profit in my position because I've already taken profits out. So right now I'm just watching this. So the main thing to watch on this chart is we had a TBT Bearish Divergence printed on Friday, and now we have a close long. The blue diamond right here lets us know, again, if we are currently in an open long position, once it's printed on the 5th of August, and that position rose all the way up to 24%, right now it's at 17. Instead of panicking and selling here, we want to wait till the price taps the TBO fast line. Actually, that kind of happened right there, didn't it? Let me just zoom in to see. Yeah, it did. Well, that's done, which is a great sign. So now I'm just going to be waiting for ETH BTC to go back and go back up to the 0.5 fib level, which is insane. Stablecoin Dominance also had a great day yesterday, mainly because, well, the obvious, we saw a huge drop in BTC and Ethereum, which caused a lot of alts to sell off. Again, do we need a reminder? Not really. So whenever we see really big red days, we're going to see a big green day for Stablecoin Dominance, showing that there is increased fear in the markets. One thing to consider right now, despite the fact that the macro trend remains very bearish, we are seeing Stablecoin Dominance back inside of the cloud. The cloud is this red mass right here if it's bearish, or if it's green, it's this green mass right here. It's basically the distance between the TBO slow line and the fast line. When we see the price or a percentage, in this case, go inside of the cloud, this is a sign of consolidation. So if we were previously strong bearish below the cloud and we go inside of it, this is a sign of bullish consolidation. So this lets us know that, well, be careful, because bullish consolidation means that we should be seeing the price or percentage eventually working its way to the top of the cloud. But if we have a very bearish macro trend denoted by a downsloping TBO slow line, then we really need to be trusting that downtrend. And right now we're looking okay. Bitcoin Dominance did close up yesterday on the pullback. This is expected behavior, not really concerned, not really freaked out about this. On the 4-hour time frame, though, we do have a TBO close short, which is the inverse of a close long, like we saw back over here. So blue diamond is a TBO close long, and an orange diamond, these are my favorite bullish reversal signals, is TBO close short. Now, I don't really like seeing these on Bitcoin Dominance, because it means that we should be seeing the quote-unquote price go up higher. But I don't really expect that to happen, again, because the slow line on the daily time frame continues to point downward, and we can't forget the fact that things are still very much strong, or rather, we're in bearish consolidation on the weekly time frame. Now, going over to total ES.D, this is the total crypto market cap excluding stablecoins, represented as a dominance percentage. So this is basically representing that the fact that the total ES represents 93.35% of the total crypto market cap, which is the majority. Why is this a big deal? Well, when we see total ES.D starting to push up higher and higher and higher, that means that things are absolutely super duper frothy. When we see 95% of the total crypto market cap is dominated by everything but stablecoins, that means that everything is pumping, everyone's excited. Vice versa, when we see a very low number, it means that there's a lot of fear. We're seeing more allocation to stablecoins, okay? So what I'm seeing right now is, again, another TBO close long on the daily time frame, which is unfortunate here. But the expected behavior is a snap back to the fast line, which is just a 0.12% increase. It's not that big. And again, the slow line continues to point upward. This is telling me that the trend is up. So even with the pullback, I'm not really panicking. I'm not really freaking out right now. There's no reason to. Ethereum Dominance is oversold on the 4-hour time frame. Yes, TBT Bearish Divergence signal. But with the slow line moving up, not really freaked out. Stable.c.d, which is essentially the cousin of this guy over here on the daily time frame, also pushed above this support level / resistance level. It's really been battling it for quite a while. And looking at this chart, others, BTC, this is taking the others crypto market cap, dividing it by Bitcoin, letting us know if it's a good time to be using our alts to buy, or rather using Bitcoin to buy alts. So like all these, like ETH BTC, XRP BTC, LTC BTC, all these alternative pairs. What I know from this and what I can see is that seeing more of these TBT bearish divergence signals here, it's letting us know, watch out. This isn't really the best time to allocate your Bitcoin to buying alts. Just be really careful. Some eventually we will see them do really well, and Bitcoin will not be performing as well as the majority of coins in the market. But for now, it's not such a good thing. Now, before I get any further into this video, I want to remind you that we have awesome courses at thebettertraders.com. Please go over there, check out 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. It's a fantastic course that helps you understand automated trading tips and tricks using the AllTrading platform, which in my opinion is the best third-party trading platform in existence. In the course, you get access to our free TBT signals, which are DCA bot signals that basically just buy and sell, buy and sell. You can actually see them. I share this every once in a while here on the channel, but I have an open position here that's using the TBT signals for Bitcoin. So I'm using bots to buy the dip on Bitcoin, which is averaging down my entry. Even though this position has been open for almost 5 days, it doesn't really faze me. I've seen positions take much longer to close. But this is just how bot trading looks and how it works. You're buying the dip as the price goes lower, and you're waiting for prices to bounce. Whether you're waiting 4 days or 14 days or 4 hours or 4 minutes, an automated trading strategy really helps to offset the time that you spend in front of the screen, which is what the course teaches. Plus, you get access to the TBO indicator, the trending breakout, and that also includes a 1-month trial to the Better Traders Club Trader tier, which includes access to our monthly watch lists, trade setups, the TBO, alerts, indicators, resources, videos. Like, there is literally too much stuff. And if you just want to check out the club, I mean, by all means, you can do that. If you're a crypto cheapo, you can start for just as little as $1 a month. Serious. And you get a lot of stuff for $1 a month. And I also want to remind you guys that I have a link down below to sign up for Femex. I made a video this past weekend showing how you can use a TradingView strategy to start your own signal bot on Femex. You got to watch that video. I'll make sure to link it at the end of this one. So today's video, I kind of hinted at something special. I've been doing a lot of picks, my own picks for every single video, but today I wanted to do something different. I do read the comments. I read every single one. Some of you are very, very, very vocal, which is very good. Some of you are also of the mindset of the squeaky wheel gets the grease, which is totally fine. Today, I've just felt like, you know what? It's time to give back because I'm so thankful for all of you helping to grow my channel, subscribing, all that good stuff. So today, I'm only looking at charts that you guys requested in yesterday's video. So literally every single chart that I could find, I'm looking at it today. I can't promise I'm going to do this every single time. And I did see someone asking, will you do live streams again? I used to do live streams once a week on YouTube. Maybe. I would rather be doing it though for the club, to be honest. But my time right now is just crazy. I know it seems like you have all the time in the world. All you do is YouTube. No, friend, I still have work to do, just like you do. But my work just involves charting, bots, all that fun stuff, content creation. It's just a different kind of work. So let's get into today's picks. First off, Solana. This one is a favorite of mine just because I believe that, in my opinion, in order of importance, it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. As far as like layer ones go, I know that Solana has a bad rap. I know that a lot of people are like, about it. But honestly, to me, it feels like Solana will be the next Ethereum. But that's just based off of price action demand and those kind of things. I don't really pay attention to metrics. I don't pay attention to TPS. I don't pay attention to use, like network usage, all that stuff. I know Solana's also had lots of outages, but I'm just talking about price action and similarities in Solana's price action to Ethereum. That's my opinion. Now, in terms of the chart itself, the slow line, again, gives me confidence to buy the dip. Even though we had a nasty pullback yesterday of 4%, the price did not close inside of the daily TBO Cloud. On the 4-hour time frame, though, I shared this in yesterday's video, and I also shared this in the Better Traders Club weekly market analysis video, which is much more in depth than these videos. Anytime we get lots of these TBO closed longs together in a really tight range, that's a cluster. Now, if we get lots of closed shorts in a cluster, I'm really excited because we typically see prices rally from there. But when we get lots of these and they're closed longs, we typically see a pullback. Now, we do have to take the slow line into account. And because the slow line is moving up, I actually expect Solana to do well. I expect it to go back up here. Note, just a couple of days ago, it made a local high at $209. I think it's going to continue to push up higher. It's still above the weekly cloud. Another thing that's really nice that's happening is that on balance volume on the weekly time frame, the moving average is moving up higher. So I'm just seeing a strong trend growing. We're just not seeing that demand every single day reflected in volume yet. Near, this one unfortunately printed a TBO close long yesterday. And again, I just talked about this a lot, but just a reminder, the expected price action is for a quick reversal back up to the fast line. The main thing that I'm watching right here for Near is the fact that it's really struggling to push above this short-term resistance level. It's not even that hard. I mean, just a couple days ago, it moved all the way up here to TBO resistance at $3.38. Ondo, again, TBO close long on the daily time frame. This one is not as bullish though, I will say. Solana, again, look at the cloud. Look at the shape of it versus Near, not as strong. Ondo is a little bit better. So I really do pay attention to the strength of the trend. And unfortunately, Near and Ondo aren't as strong bullish as Solana is. ICP is even worse. Again, I see 3 of these TBO close longs. The funny thing is that I had a conversation with someone while I was at Consensus back in, when was that? May of this year, talking about different coins, different projects. And he was actually saying that he believes that ICP is one of the best projects alive right now that's still functioning. And it's just they've had a lot of manipulation in the price action. And when I see price action, when I look at volume, like there's literally no interest. No one really talks about ICP, despite the only thing really being the fact that it had an insane listing price. It listed all the way up here at like $600, which is stupid. And it literally just lost 99% of its value. So a lot of people are looking at charts like this going, well, can it go back up to these crazy levels? When the conditions are right, when the news is good, when the vibes are good, yes, we will see big moves. Back over here, 2023, we saw a massive rally up 500% for ICP. But I mean, the next one we're looking at resistance probably up here again, like 200% increase. It should probably go higher, but it's a little bit risky to, at this point, to go, oh yeah, I'm so excited about this coin because there's no interest at all as far as price action is concerned. Caspa, same story with ICP. It's not really a bullish looking chart on the daily, 3 TBO close longs. On the weekly, the only thing that's different about Caspa is that it's almost inverted from ICP. You notice the difference? We had this huge listing high and it dumped. Whereas Caspa actually had an incredible listing pump, I guess you could say, up 13,000%. The main thing to watch for Caspa, in my opinion, is how is it going to react once it pushes above overhead resistance that's been in place since December 2024. I'm hoping to see it make a nice push up, not just up here to 15 cents, but again, pushing up higher and higher, but it's already moved up so much. Aptos, this one again, I'm still strong bullish on this chart despite yesterday's price action falling down lower. Again, I made the point saying that, well, we have a TBO close short, but now we're looking at the inverse. I just talked about the bullish outcome for bearish outcome, for ICP and Caspa, seeing 3 of these and expecting the price to fall down. It's not good. Now we're inverting it. We're seeing TBO close shorts, 1, 2, 3 on the daily time frame. Even though we're high above support that's outlined right here by the TBO at $4.06, this is actually bullish to me. I actually expect Aptos to do really well, which is why my position is still open, which is why I'm still bullish on Aptos. Now, for some bullish updates, that's why these are all flagged green, because I just like how things look. For Doge, I know a lot of people really like this coin. A lot of people think it's going to do well. Right now, I just don't see the demand. I don't see the interest. It's kind of bullish on the weekly. The main thing that Doge is struggling with right now is volume. There is no volume. There's no excitement. This is Doge on Binance, if I'm not mistaken, which is a huge exchange. I mean, the weekly volume, the moving average here says 1.7 billion. That's insane. So the reason why volume is so high is because things went absolutely crazy because of this whole Department of Government Efficiency thing. And it was basically a nothing burger. Well, Dogecoin being tied to that and also tied to Trump's presidency, nothing happened. It was an incredible rally, but now it's fallen off. People think that we're going to see a second wind of this rally. Maybe there's going to be a Doge spot ETF, but why? It's just a meme coin. So I'm not really a big fan of Doge. AVAX, now we're talking about a coin that actually has a purpose. It has utility. It solves a problem. Again, I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes here, but this chart just does not have volume. It's not exciting. Yes, it's moved up a little bit, but we're not seeing anywhere near the kind of excitement we saw back over here in November 2024 when we had the election pump. Nothing like that on the daily right now. The only good thing about this chart is that as far as like where it is, let me say it differently. From the top to the drop, it's still like below the 382 Fibonacci level, which means that if we get a push up higher, a return back up, probably to here, to be honest, it's a 300% increase. It's kind of okay. But the main thing that I watch out for at this phase of the bull market, which I believe we are near the end, or nearing the end, and we should be seeing coins go parabolic soon. The main thing that I'm concerned about is, well, I'm not concerned about, but I'm watching for have coins previously experienced a very frothy alt season, which clearly AVAX has. I mean, it shot up 1,800% over the course of 9 weeks, and in total, 4,500%. So will it do that again? Probably not. It's already had its day. It's pretty much neglected and forgotten right now, but it should do well from here. It's just, there's just no demand and volume. Say, on the other hand, this one has not experienced a bull market. It listed back over here on Binance August 2023. Not a bad time, because October 2023 to February 2024, it increased just about 1,000%. It could and it should go back up to that listing high. From here, though, like the ROI isn't as great. So we're going to be looking for it to be pushing up higher. So it's just something to keep in mind. Ether, actually, it's probably Ether. This one has just a crazy move. This is actually one that I shared in the Better Traders Club as, gosh, what is it called? A swing trading setup, because we checked it out, or rather, I was watching it here in June. I was like, okay, cool. Once July hits, this is the place to enter right here. Ever since then, I mean, it's been a great entry for ATH. I do expect this one to oscillate back up to where it fell from, which is a 63% increase. Note, this chart is very new, listed back over here, March 2025. So charts like this, I feel like have a much more frothy upside. Now, some things to watch on these last 4 charts. VeChain, this is one that has experienced a previous bull market. It's been around for actually quite a while, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go to the weekly time frame. Since 2018. So see how crazy charts get? Like when Bitcoin is just the focus, the emphasis, a lot of charts just get really beat up and bruised. It's not looking good. We'll see charts just absolutely dump and everyone gives up hope until we see bullish conditions and charts absolutely pump thousands of percent. That's 8,000% from May. And if we just take alt season from January right here up until the top, I actually have to change the scale to show you right here. Let's get January. So it's approximately 960%. We want to be paying attention to coins that have previously had a rally. Yes, this one is not anywhere near that previous all-time high. Yes, it could move up that high again, but I really want to pay more attention to newer charts like Tau or BitTensor. This one is really strange. I actually talked about this in the Better Traders Club weekly market analysis video yesterday. I know that lots of people like this coin. I just don't see the appeal personally, but I do think that it has good upside potential because people like it. But just be really careful. It's really struggling to show any semblance of a strong uptrend. Once it breaks above resistance, I hope that it makes a nice push up higher. There's a weird pennant shape going on right now, short term. It's just not a healthy looking chart. It just doesn't look strong bullish. TIE, which is something, I forget. See, I don't even pay attention to this stuff. Let me see if it'll tell me. Yep, TARS AI on the Sol network. Someone is asking about this, and you know what? I'm just like, sure, today I'll look at it. Now, why would you want a chart like this? You probably were following someone who's talking about AI. You're probably listening to someone that has a vested interest in a coin. The reality is that even without looking at the price, which sometimes is really helpful, and just looking at the TBO, it's just bearish. Well, the only bullish things that I can see right now are TBT bullish divergence and a closed short on the daily time frame, which is okay. And again, I did say, well, we want to find charts that haven't experienced a bull market, which this one technically hasn't. It listed back over here in May 2024 on Bybit. So could this chart rally all the way back up to its all-time high, 700%? Yeah, and it could go higher, but we need to wait for the right conditions, and we're not in those conditions just yet. But it is on a pullback. This is ideally where we want to find a good entry, is on a pullback, but there's a real big problem because there's no volume, which means there's no interest. On balance volume is mega bearish. Looking at the weekly time frame, it's even more clear. The only thing that's possibly good that's happening is that the moving average on the weekly time frame is curling up, but we really need to see a massive influx of volume here. It's not strong bullish at all. It's a very, very, very risky coin. FET, which is Fetch AI. This one is really odd because I know this one is fairly old as well. Let me go ahead and look at the weekly time frame. Yeah, it listed back over here in March 2019. So it did technically experience a bull market. This one is different because unlike a lot of other coins that saw an incredible rally here in 2020 and 2021, it actually just retraced back down and it actually made a higher high, which is crazy. Fetch actually had an incredible rally from 2022 up here to 2024, 4,644%. Massive. Now, the question is, can it hold that level? Well, we want to look at long-term support right here, and it hasn't fallen down to it, but it really got close back over here in April. The main thing that we want to see is it going to hold to its previous oscillating pattern? We saw a drawdown here of 95%. And then right here, we have drawdown of 8 or 90%. We could see the same thing. We just didn't see a nice push up higher. Now, if we do see something similar, and maybe people are expecting it to do something similar, we could be looking at something, and I'll just do a messy little drawing right here to show resistance. Maybe we'll see something like this where it pushes up higher to like $8. But again, this is risky. But the only thing I like about this chart is the oscillation on here, the patterns. You can see there's a drop, there's a pump, and it shoots up higher. There's a drop, pump, shoots up higher. So there's our drop. We just haven't seen the pump to shoot up higher yet, if it's going to repeat. Now, things in crypto do not repeat verbatim. They do not repeat the same exact thing, but things in crypto do often rhyme. And that's something that I teach over here at our courses, Better Traders. Again, this is the time to extract as much value as you possibly can out of all your trades. I personally still believe that Bitcoin's going to top out in November of this year. And now that it's getting on to the end of August, that means we have September, October, November, about 3 months left, in my opinion. We could go longer, we could go shorter, but looking at a lot of things, like it feels like we're getting closer to the end. So this is the time to learn and also to prepare for the bear market that I believe is going to be happening next year. Again, not everyone believes this. It's totally fine. I could be wrong, but I think it's coming. So it might be worth spending some time checking out our courses, especially 15 minutes of financial freedom to understand your exit strategy from here on out, as well as getting access to the Better Traders Club. And don't forget to click on that link for Femex. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I want you to watch this video that shows you how you can set up your own long short bot on Femex. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.